Welcome everyone. The topic of this video is phylum Platyhelminthes of invertebrates of chapter Animalia. The term Platyhelminthes is derived from two Greek words, namely platy stands for broad or flat and helmin stands for worms. So thus they are usually called as the flatworms. So their body is dorso-ventrally flattened and hence these are called as flatworms. So once when we see the body of the flatworms, so dorsal side as well as the ventral side they are compressed to form a flat structure, so that they are called as the flatworms. Platyhelminthes are bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic acoelomate animals with organ system level of organization. So bilaterally symmetrical in the sense their body can be easily divisible into two equal halves only on the lateral side. So such a type of symmetry is called as the bilaterally symmetrical animals. And triploblastic means they have three germinal layers, namely ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. So such that they are called as triploblastic animals. And acoelomate in the sense they do not have coelom, or coelom is absent in case of these flatworms, so that they are called as acoelomate animals. And they do have certain organs, so that to achieve the organ system level of organization. Flatworms show certain head-like structures towards the anterior end. So formation of these head-like structures in the anterior end is known as cephalization, and also they move in one direction, so that they are represented as unidirectional movement. So they show moderate cephalization and unidirectional movement. So they are mostly endoparasite of animals including the human beings. Endoparasite in the mean they live inside the host body, and hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms and serves as organs for attachment. So once when they live inside the host body as an endoparasite, the attachment organs happen to be hooks and suckers. So with the help of these hooks and suckers, they get attachment to the host body to lead a parasitic mode of life. Their body is not segmented. However, some forms exhibit pseudo-segmentation. So when we see the structure of the tapeworm, there are certain segment-like structures, but these are not true segments, but they are of false type, hence to be known as the pseudo-segmentation. Parasitic flatworms absorb nutrients directly from the host body through their body surface, so that they do not have a very well developed digestive system. Now, some of the parasitic flatworms absorb nutrients directly from the host through their body surface. In case of flatworms, the incomplete digestive system is seen because of this nature. Excretion and osmoregulation in case of flatworms is done by specialized cells what are called as flame cells. So excretion means eliminating the unwanted nitrogenous waste products, and osmoregulation is nothing but the water balance. So both these functions, namely excretion and osmoregulation, is brought out by the flame cells. Here in this picture the excretory system of the Fasciola hepatica is shown, and a typical flame cell is also shown in an enlarged manner. So these flame cells are responsible for both the osmoregulation and excretion. Flatworms happen to be hermaphrodite animals, which means both the sex organs, namely testes and the ovaries, are present in the same organism. Fertilization is of internal type, and the development is through larval stages, namely Meracidium, Sporocyst, Radia as well as Cercaria. So here the life cycle of the Fasciola hepatica is shown with the different type of larval stages, namely Meracidium, Sporocyst, Radia as well as Cercaria, so that they have many larval stages in the life cycle of the Fasciola hepatica. Because of the presence of many embryonic stages in the life cycle of the Fasciola hepatica, they are called as polyembryony. So some members like Planaria show high regeneration capacity. Regeneration is nothing but development of the last body parts. So here in this picture, the body of the Planaria is divided into three distinct parts, namely an anterior part, the middle part as well as the posterior part. So this anterior part develops the middle region as well as the posterior region, whereas the middle region develops the anterior region as well as the posterior region. So finally the posterior region develops the middle part as well as the anterior part. So such a type of development of the last body parts is called as the regeneration. So this is very high in case of the planaria. Some of the common examples of platyhelminthes happen to be the planaria and fasciola hepatica and tinea solium. So tinea solium, commonly tinea solium is called as tapeworm, fasciola hepatica it's commonly called as liver fluke, and cystosoma hematobium is commonly called as the blood fluke. So with this the phylum Platyhelminthes is getting over. Regarding the next phylum, we'll see in the next video. Thank you.